Morning guys, welcome back to another video. Minor update, I'm still waiting to hear back from the police regarding the situation with the prop shaft and obviously the company that is at fault here, which is Prop Shaft Services, sorry, my bad. I find it really weird that they wouldn't even let me see CCTV just to confirm that the part did come into their custody. Obviously, I was going to try and attempt to put the prop shaft in again, even though I know it's about 4 centimeters too long. I can get the front half in because the original bearing on it is actually on the shorter side. I can actually mount that up and make my own little bracket for it, which is fine. But obviously it just means for the rear half of the shaft it will be hanging off the back of the car and on the floor, which obviously I don't want that. I'd rather it be indoors. At least it's dry, at least it will be much better maintained. Overall, if it's a case of the police call me and they say come down to the station to review the footage because they have access to their CCTV, then that is fine. I can go there and identify the part myself. I would still rather that company shorten the shaft for me, just because they are pretty local. They're only about 10-15 minutes away from home. If not that, just refund me the part, and obviously I'll pay for the service afterwards or take my business elsewhere. Hopefully I do get a good result from it, or at least one that I can actually deal with, instead of in the process losing money out because I've spent money on parts and the parts have disappeared and I don't know where. This is why I don't like dealing with other people, and I don't like other people touching my car. But for today, I have never done this before because my previous two Civics, the rear drums and rear brakes were up to scratch. They were always maintained, so I'm going to attempt to do the rear trailing arms today. Again, never done them before, so this is going to be a first for me. I just have to wait and see, I suppose. So I'm going to get the tools out, get the car up in the air, start disconnecting the brake lines and see how it all goes. Yeah, but that's it really, to be honest, for the time being. I'll quickly show you guys the trailing arms as they both sit right now. And obviously I'll try to get as much footage for you guys on how under the car looks like, because obviously it is going to get flat floored eventually, just because obviously I do want it to be much more efficient under the car as well as on top of the car as well. So yeah, let me get right in, get the stuff out, and I'll show you guys how things are looking like. Right guys, right, so this is the trailing arms. Again, this is the ones that I had made up with me and my friend in his own small garage. Here is the old trailing arm for the passenger side now. Finally got it off. I will have this side by side so I can see how the bushing sits on there. Again, this is my first time doing it. I'll remove that arm at the end here as well, just so it can obviously get onto that. Then what I'll do, I won't reconnect the caliper as such yet, but I will try to run the handbrake. Actually, no, tell a lie, because I know that won't really work. I will put the caliper in place and run the handbrake line, so at least I've still got a handbrake anyway. The other side is obviously still on. I've just put some hubs behind the wheels to stop the car rolling. Just improvising something for the time being. And underneath, obviously everything's fully extended. I might actually give under here a good clean up. Eventually these shocks will go. That pipe for the fuel tank will eventually disappear as well, because it's not needed, because there's going to be a new fuel tank, which this pipe will be redundant. Other than that, that's how it currently sits. I do need to actually weld in under the arch, which obviously I will do on a warmer day. Otherwise, yeah, that's the progress of it so far. What I will do is I will get my drill with a wire brush, clean up underneath there. I'll show you guys quickly, and I'll start getting the new trailing arm on. and obviously I'll show you guys once that's all done as well. Right, so I've cleaned up the inside of the wheel arch. Never mind about the spring, because obviously the shock absorber is fully extended, so it being a shorter spring than the original, and obviously adjustable coilovers, obviously it's just going to flop around a little bit. Excuse the wire, because obviously it's just for the neon lights, but as you can see, the trailing arm is actually in place, and also have a caliper on as well. I do need to give the mount a fresh yellow, and obviously paint the main part of the caliper yellow as well. Don't worry about these pads, I do have new ones for it. All I'm going to do next is reconnect the handbrake cable as well as the brake line as well, which obviously just goes into that. Once that's done, I'll reconnect this one to the handbrake. And then what I'll do is get the wheel on and then get the other side up. Everything is already tightened up for the trailing arm side of things. One thing I did notice though is that obviously I've put the drive shaft in and it's just rubbing against the subframe on the rear. That entire bulky piece actually isn't doing anything at all, so what I actually might do is just trim it down slightly. That's not too much of a bad thing. Obviously that means I just have to get the drive shaft back out, which is alright, I can live with that. Other than that, it's connected to the rear diff, as you can see. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that overall. I will try to get a few images of it as well, just for Instagram, but if the weather actually holds, or let's say daylight holds out a little bit longer for me to do the other side, then we will be good. Right, I retract my previous statement about the drive shaft rubbing against the bottom of the subframe. When I actually lowered the car down, it was actually okay. The clearance was alright. Just me being a bit silly. But yeah, I've reconnected all of the brake lines for this side of the car. I will try to get the other side done before it gets too dark, because obviously it is starting to get dark already. But yeah, at least now I know what I'm doing, so the other side shouldn't be as long. All the parts are ready to go on to the other side anyway. I will try to take some pictures of it, just so, for Instagram, let's say, just so people who's actually solely on there actually can see the progress as well. But yeah, let me crack on. That'll be the end of this video, because there's no point showing you guys the other side. It's pretty much just the same thing as this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. It is a fairly quick one, just minor update. But until the next, I'll see you then.